So I've had a few people ask about the 3D printing process being used to create the protective equipment being donated to medical personnel responding to the COVID pandemic. The 3D printing, you have a spool of plastic filament that's fed through an extruder motor, and then in this particular printer it goes down a tube into the print head, and there's a little heater in the print head that squirts out filament as it's going by layer. So each time it makes a pass, it's just squirting out a tiny little line to create the overall part. So this print head is going to jump around between parts, and then the bed will keep going down, and it'll print another layer, so on. It's a very tedious process. I can leave these running for overnight if I do it in this manner, where I've got multiple pieces on the bed, or where I've stacked pieces, so I can print multiple pieces on top of each other. So overnight I can do enough components for 8 face shields stacked, and that's a 12-hour print job. So if everything goes smoothly, if the printer doesn't jam up, doesn't run out of filament, it'll print 8 units per printer. So I've got 3 of these running, well 2.5 actually. And right now I'm printing the bottom component of the face shield. This printer over here is a little problematic still. It's not fully dialed in and able to produce these of sufficient quality. But of the ones I have produced so far, I'm up to 27. So you've got the bottom part and the top part, and then a plastic shield that is secured onto these studs, and an elastic band that holds that against your forehead. So obviously I don't have the plastic here or the ability to create the clear plastic of the right size. There's a separate group that's donating that material and laser cutting capacity, and the community as a whole is coordinating to assemble all these together into usable kits, and they have to be sanitized and packaged and then accepted by medical personnel before they're put into the field. So I'm not entirely certain that these can be used by hospitals. I'm not involved in that part of the community other than just supplying the actual raw parts. But I have a feeling that when capacity at the hospitals and the ICU starts to become overwhelmed, that even just a doctor's office or minute clinic is not going to have access to protective equipment due to the overwhelming demand from hospitals. This could go on for quite a while. So this is an open organization. They will accept requests from basically anywhere. They just need a quantity and the type of protective equipment. And then the community is providing individuals like me, 25 people so far, working together to provide a capacity of 200 to 300 of these face shields per day, provided that materials and printers don't break down and materials are available. But at least for the short term, the face shield is just part of the picture. The medical personnel also have to wear a respirator. The face shields that have been contaminated have to be either thrown away or decontaminated. So there is a high chance that supply will take quite a while to catch up to the overwhelming demand. So that's kind of the reasoning for why these communities are popping up everywhere. This is just Kansas City. The same model file used to create these standard parts is available on the internet. There's other people organizing this. So if you want to contribute, work with your community, find a Facebook page or a group that's already doing this that can properly sanitize the parts and get everyone producing in the same manner, because there's a certain type of plastic you need to use, and there's certain considerations you need to be careful of as you're cleaning these up to get them ready for being packaged into kits. They do require a little bit of post-processing to remove burrs, so that they're comfortable for wearing long term. There's a lot of stuff to discuss. So work with your community if you want to get involved. If you've only got one printer and you have limited time, if you can only produce 5 or 10, it might not be worthwhile. I'm shooting for 25 to 50 per day, kind of depending on if it's a weekend or what the situation looks like with this third printer here. But I can definitely do 20 per day, so that's what I've committed to, at least until things change. So hopefully, best case scenario, we won't need all these, but it's better than nothing, I guess, and it's also better than sitting around having nothing to do. So help out however you can. Or if you don't have 3D printers, you can always donate. I'd be careful about what groups you donate to and whether they're oversupplied already. But just in general, donating to any funds to do with COVID-19, the Red Cross or hospitals, just search around in your community. There will be a way that you can help.